Reg, I didn't realize this. We were talking about Steph Curry getting 50 with one turnover. Reggie in 1992 against the Hornets had 57 with zero turnovers. Zero.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Okay.
I wasn't going to pass it to anyone on my team.
Did you not have any assists either?
I think I may have had 8 assists.
Okay.
So I was giving up the rock, but on a night like that, when you're feeling it like that, you want that orange in your hand. You want it in your hand.
Okay, Sacramento knows who's getting the ball. They double teamed him. They did everything that you're supposed to do with Steph Curry. Why didn't any of this work?
Because Stephen Curry is superhuman. If you look at his stat line, first of all, what's more impressive, which no one is talking about, the dude took 38 field goal attempts, Theodore. He was 20 for 38. Yeah. 38 field goal attempts. You don't understand how great a shape you have to be in to sustain that. Yeah. And you could double, triple team him all you want. In today's game where there's freedom of movement and you can't hold, clutch, trip, elbow, you're going to have nights like this. And in a game 7, I don't care if it was on the road or at home, against a team with very little to no experience other than their head coach who has won championships with the team that he was going against, you kind of figured it would be this type of outcome.
Steve Kerr mentioned Steph Curry in the same sentence with Michael Jordan.
Yep, I can see it. Again, I don't want people flooding my Twitter inbox, but you got to look at the historical context. And Michael did everything in the Air Jordan. He revolutionized the game. He changed the way we thought. The baggy shorts, the black socks, the shoes, obviously the Air Jordans. Stephen Curry has taken shooting and the art form of it and moving without the ball to a different level. And because I have a 9-year-old and I go to all these games, the first thing kids do, they know they can't dunk and fly like Michael Jordan, but they all believe they can shoot like Stephen Curry. And that's the first thing they do is start hoisting up threes to try and be like their hero, Stephen Curry. So you have heroes to most in Michael Jordan, and you have a lot of heroes in Stephen Curry. I see the comparison.
But who's had a bigger impact on the sport? As far
Michael Jordan.
No, from playing.
Well, here's the thing. I'll take that back. I will say Stephen Curry for this reason. He's playing in the age of social media. There wasn't that when Michael Jordan played. Yeah. You had to actually watch the games. There wasn't you go back on your phone and replay. Stephen Curry's in the digital age. So we have access to Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and we see the highlights and the plays and, ESPN 360, every talk show. A lot of that was just beginning with Michael Jordan. Yeah. And it wasn't around. So I would say Stephen Curry has had the bigger global impact. I think Michael Jordan's really now more so famous for the shoes.
The brand. Yeah, the marketing.
The brand.
Yeah,
the brand.
Yeah, the
people
global
forget
reach.
how great he is and was.
And it shouldn't have taken this game, but I'm going to use this game as a springboard into when Steph is all said and done. How does he get into the top 10 players of all time?
I think he may be in there. I think everyone's saying this was a legacy game for Stephen Curry. To me, I think his legacy game was in the finals last year versus Boston in that closeout win on the road in Boston. To me, that was his legacy game because he did it he won one without KD, the first one. Then he won 2 with KD, and everyone's like, okay, well, they needed KD to win those championships. And he was never a finals MVP, and that was a finals MVP series closeout game. To me, that was his legacy game. To me, it was time to put the kids to bed. To me, that was that kind of statement. All right, I'm done messing with my food. These kids are annoying me. Yes, they're entertaining. They're an up-and-coming team, but it's time to put the kids to bed. And it was that type of game, and Curry made it. He just wanted to put a statement on putting the kids to bed.
All right, so you have Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Kareem, Kobe,
Tim Duncan.
Ooh, okay.
Tim Duncan would be absolutely in the top 10.
So you got
Bill Russell.
You got Wilt in there.
I want to think about Shaq. I may go with Shaq over Wilt.
Okay.
Okay, how many am I up to now?
You know what? I think you almost have to take Russell and Wilt out of this. It's a different game.
Yeah, but I got to value those championships by Russell.
Okay.
I do.
All right. So Duncan does Bird make the top 10?
Oh man. Oh, Magic.
I got to put Bird/Magic or Magic/Bird.
Can they be one?
Yeah.
Can they be one?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm going to have to do that for what they meant to the game.
Thank you.
I'm going to do Magic/Bird.
Bird. Thank you. Okay. Magic/Bird, Michael.
But
Kareem.
I might give Michael 2 spots, man. Like Mike's
You're
1
right.
and 2. 1 and 2.
You're right.
Okay, so
Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan, Magic Bird, MJ, Curry.
Is Durant in there?
Not on this list.
I think we're running out of spots, aren't we?
Outside looking in. He's on the outside looking in. I think if he wins.
What if he wins this year? What if he wins this year?
And his finals MVP, yeah, you might have to think about him.
Because that would be 3 finals MVPs.
Yeah.
Okay. He'd have to win one more to get into consideration for the top 10.
Consideration, correct.
But you have Steph Curry in the top 10.
I have Curry in the top 10 because he also changed the way we perceived shooting.
Okay.
He's the greatest shooter the game has ever seen.
How do the Lakers deal with him?
Attention to detail. And I'm not quite sure they can follow those habits for a 7-game series. You have to follow the game plan.
But isn't it amazing, Reg? This many years in, there's a scouting report on Steph, but nobody has stopped him. He's not the fastest guy, the strongest guy, tallest guy, can't jump. Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing, but it goes to show you Stephen Curry, Rip Hamilton, Ray Allen, all 3 of those guys, what do they have in common? Non-stop in motion. You can't guard what you can't stop or hold. They're constantly in motion.
Yeah.
They're the most fit basketball players I played against. So if you are constantly moving and you are a great shooter and you can handle and you can pass, you have so many things at your disposal, Theodore.
It's just, his biggest opponent is time. I mean, it's him versus time or his body.
Here's the thing. I'm 57 and I can still shoot.
Oh, I know.
So that's not going to diminish with him. Foot speed will come and go. That'll probably start to slow down. But as long as he can still shoot, which he will be able to do when he's 40, 45, he can play as long as he wants. Because in today's game, you need shooters. You need people that can space the floor. He'll always have a job.
Yeah, he could eventually have the role that his dad had when his dad played, because Dell was off the ball and basically a spot-up shooter.
And if you get a traditional point guard in there and he could just play shooting guard and come off screens, and people forget how great of a passer he is as well. I know they think about the threes and the shooting, but he's a great passer and he can handle the basketball. I mean, look at that last play when he got his 50th point and he's curly Neal dribbling through everyone and then the layup. Just remarkable.
He's Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer. He'll be on the call tonight, Sixers and the Celtics. It feels like the Lakers will win Game 1 against Golden State for some reason. I
It can happen.
I don't know why, and I don't know. Like sometimes you're drained after a series, and sometimes you're energized after a series. I'm not sure how Golden State will be.
I see your point, but I think what Golden State has going for them is coming off of Game 7, where they've been locked in. It's not a huge turnaround to start Game 1, but I will say what the Lakers have in their favor, and this dates back all the way to the Anthony Davis, New Orleans Pelicans days. They had no answer for him when he was with the Pelicans facing Golden State in the first round. He dominated them. They will go as far as Anthony Davis will take them. As great as LeBron is and has been and will always be, we mentioned one of the top 10. He's probably in the top 5, LeBron James. The Lakers want to get to the conference finals and win a championship. It's all going to be on Anthony Davis' shoulders. And he has dominated over the years, Golden State, because they're a smaller team. And I give Kevon Looney credit. He's done a great job, but Anthony Davis is a different beast. It depends on which Anthony Davis is going to show up in this series. If it's the dominant one that we saw in the last 2 games of that Memphis series, this is going to be a long series for Golden State. But if he's passive, again, LeBron is great. Don't get me wrong, and he'll have his moments. But it's got to be Anthony Davis' fingerprints all over the series. If not, I know what I'm going to get out of Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Jordan Poole. I know what I'm going to get, and it's going to be a fun series. I just think Golden State has too many offensive weapons for the Lakers.
What advice would you give Dylan Brooks?
Face the media. What I was disappointed about that, and this is coming from a guy who was very loquacious and talked a lot, right, Theodore? You know me very well. But when it's time to face the music, you got to get in front of the camera. You can't be walking out. If you're going to talk all that noise about LeBron being old, I give Ja credit. He owned up to it. He said it. I'm good in the West. There's no one in the West. And he owned it. If you're going to say all that stuff, either joke about it, but you can't run from it. I'm tired of all the talking from the Grizzlies, and I'm a talker. It's time for some action. It was time for some action, and y'all laid an egg. So own it. Own it. Stop hiding from it. Face it.
What chances do you give the Sixers, given the fact that no Embiid tonight?
In tonight's game or in the series in general?
Series in general. Even if he is healthy.
If he was healthy, they would have an absolute, if you look at the numbers, I mean, he has dominated the Celtics when healthy. But him being hurt, not knowing what kind of shape he is when he does come back, if he does come back for Game 2 or the rest of the series, this is all about the Celtics. And after what we saw with Milwaukee going down against the Heat, now they're the overall best record left in these playoffs. I think if you're Boston, there's got to be a sense of urgency that this has to be a year because it's wide open. And if Embiid is not 100%, and they struggled against Atlanta. People thought that was going to be a sweep, and they really struggled against the Hawks. Maybe it was a wake-up call. They were thinking past Atlanta, gearing up for this. I think they'll be locked and loaded and ready to go tonight.
The Garden had the atmosphere. They had it. Yeah, they had everything that you would. I mean, I know Julius Randle wasn't there, but you had the celebrities were there, the atmosphere. Patrick Ewing comes back. Spike's in the building.
But they forgot about one thing.
Winning.
Jimmy freaking Butler is on that other team, and he does not care. But it's a long series, and with him and his little turned ankle, let's see how he comes bounces back from that as well. So that's going to be a long series. I'm not worried. People in New York, stop. It's not that dramatic. It's only one game. One game. Relax. Just relax. One game.
You got to win those games.
I know.
You got to win them.
When the juice is there, you're right. You're right, but it's only one game.
Aside from Spike Lee, did you interact with anybody else in New York?
No, Spike pretty much took up most of my time in that building, and rightfully so because he's front and center. He's the face of the Knicks. I love him. We're at a better place now in our relationship. We're much more friendlier when we see one another. He's a good dude, but in those moments, and deep down in my belly, look, I'll always have a disdain for the New York Knicks. That's just how I am. But I respect him. I respect John Starks because you know why? The dude fought and he would fall down and come back and be like, "Is that all you got?" I respect dudes like that.
But did you want to fight Spike Lee?
No, I ain't fighting any fan.
Well,
no,
he was
different. Now the dudes on their team, Oakley and
you didn't want to fight Oakley.
I didn't want to fight him. I would get my Davis boys to fight him. Are you crazy? I ain't fighting Charles Oakley.
Why was Oakley? Why did Oakley scare everybody in the NBA?
Oh, that dude was real, man.
What do you mean?
He's one of the guys you hated to play against, but you wish he was on your team.
But okay, so he wasn't a great player, but everybody was scared of him.
Set the best screens, was a above average to pretty good rebounder.
Yeah.
But there's no more enforcers in the NBA game. There's no more. There's no Buck Williams, my Davis boys. Charles Oakley. There's no longer that. There's no more role for that because you got to be skilled at that position. And he played it perfectly. Bill Laimbeer played it perfectly. Rick Mahorn. Those guys were perfect in their roles.
Okay. Let's say you pass away first. Does Spike Lee speak at your funeral?
I hope so.
Would you speak at his?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
But I think you got to heckle him because he should heckle you. If you, you should show up in full uniform. If you live longer than Spike, and you have to heckle him.
I would come to his funeral dressed in all orange and blue skies like he would like.
Oh,
I would be in
I like that.
Nick colors at his at his way.
Okay.
Breaking news.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Just like he better be in blue and gold at mine.
Okay. All right. You probably didn't think you were getting that question today, did you?
No, I didn't. Now you got me worried about, the afterlife here. Don't put it in the universe. Oh, my goodness. Why are you jinxing us, Theodore?
Do you know who your pallbearers are going to be?
I do not. Nor do I care, because if it's time for the Lord to bring me home, it's time. It is time.
Well, I got 5 guys here, and that leaves one opening.
Can I? Oh, well, I better be on yours. I better be one of your pallbearers. You're going to be one of mine. You better be. I'm asking you right now.
Do you want to be one of my?
I want you to be one of my.
All right, I'll be a pallbearer.
All right, and I'm going to be one of yours.
Okay. All right. Trying to think who. I think Bryant Gumbel was picking. Somebody told me he picked his pallbearers.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
it's a little morbid, but then if you go, you know what? It'd be nice if I had.
So you have your Danettes and me. So you're set now.
No. Right? I'm not having my Danettes be pallbearers.
Why not?
No. Maybe one.
Which one?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, Holly, are you eating? Ooh.
Do I have Fritzy? Fritzy's got guns. He's got some big arms. I don't know.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter the guns because you got 5 other guys holding it up. So don't go by the physical stature. Go by who's been in your corner the most.
Oh, who's been in my corner? Whoa. And I got to get 6 guys?
Well, you got to pick one Danette. So out of them, which, you already have 2. So you have me.
I got you.
One Danette. Now we need 4 other guys.
All right.
Or girls.
Okay. That could be true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shorties.
Yeah, some shorties.
If I do LA.
How did we get here?
I have no idea.
DP, I haven't heard my name yet.
Oberman would probably not be a pallbearer.
He wouldn't?
Well, I don't know.
DP.
It's.
I can see Keith being one.
So
now we have 3.
I don't
Keith,
know. Yeah.
Dana, and myself. We need 3 more. We're filling out the roster.
Would you have any, like Mark Jackson is your buddy?
Mark Jackson would be one.
Okay.
Not only would he be a pallbearer, but he would give the eulogy.
Would Rick Smits want to be a pallbearer?
No, he wouldn't be one.
Okay.
Let me see. Who else would be one?
Would Shaq?
Cheryl Dean.
Oh, your sister.
All right. So that's, what am I up to now? 4.
4?
I'm up to 4. See? I'm ahead of you.
What about Jordan? More. What if you asked Michael Jordan to be a pallbearer?
Man, please. He would probably laugh. He would probably laugh and spit on my grave. Right.
He would heckle you. Did you ever think about wearing Air Jordans when you played?
I did wear. I was part of the Jordan brand later in my career.
I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't.
I did wear Jordans.
Okay.
I did wear Jordans, and it pained me. No, I didn't.
I was going to say, well, it paid,
it didn't pay.
It paid
I was
you.
wearing Jordans against Jordan, getting done by Jordan. Does that make sense? I was wearing Jordans against Michael Jordan, getting done by Michael Jordan.
Did he? That has to be the ultimate trash talk. Like, dude, you're wearing my shoes. I own you.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, no, but if I'm Jordan, I would have said, I own you, man. You're wearing my shoes.
He's probably saying cha-ching.
Yeah,
cha-ching.
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm putting money in his pocket. You're right. Why the hell am I putting money in Michael Jordan's pocket?
Have fun tonight, Reg.
I appreciate it. Theodore, Danettes, I love y'all.
Reggie
I know which one. I know which one it would be.
Reggie Aloysius Miller. And he'll be on the call tonight with the Celtics and the Sixers.